All right, what's going on, everyone? Camera straight. What's going on? Happy all-time highs. Happy Bitcoin all-time highs. I had a feeling. I was like, we're probably going to hit all-time highs before the end of the week. I was feeling it. Like, just the Bitcoin's chart. We've just been watching it like a hawk. We've been watching Ethereum. We've been keeping our eyes on both of these coins, the top cryptos in the world. And we were feeling like Bitcoin was just ready to coil. It was ready to go. And if you had been watching this live stream and watching this channel and tuning in, then you guys would probably have that same feeling, because we've been covering this. We've been covering that the price has been suppressed. There's been, the liquidations and the wash trading that's been happening. We're seeing that, the liquidations from across the market on 50x, 100x leverage trades just getting cleaned out before we actually hit these levels, which are actually, we're going to break down in the charts and show you that these are actually Fibonacci extension levels that we had shown previously before that had a high probability of being respected. So we're also going to pull up that. And we have some news to break. We got regulatory clarity things to talk about. We have all kinds of stuff. But yeah, guys, welcome. We got Ethereum waking up. We have Ethereum hitting this Fibonacci extension level, which we had been watching, which is that 0.5 Fibonacci. And we're also watching the 618 Fibonacci extension level, which is that juicy $3,000 Ethereum. And Hyro is asking, how do I make money in crypto? Well, you just have to stay in crypto long enough to lose enough to make mistakes enough, and keep clicking, and you will eventually win. It's the only industry where you could lose 80 times, 90 times, and then one time make the biggest trade of your life and make it all back. And it's the only place in the entire world where you could do this. And it's in crypto, my friends. This is why it's so exciting. It's so alluring to me, being in crypto, because it really is one of those industries where it can completely change your life, all from one click. So just keep clicking. But all jokes aside, we're here to learn. We're here to follow these charts. We're here to be here before all the rest of the institutions start piling in their money, and also when retail starts to download whatever app is going to be the first app that comes up when you type in crypto, which you guys should do that right now. Go in the App Store, go in the Google Play Store, and just type in crypto. And I want to know what the top 3 apps are. So right now, if you're able to do this, go to your App Store and type in crypto and see what apps are the top 3, or even just like the top 10. What shows up first? Because that is going to be what retail is going to download, because that's just that's what people do. They're like, okay, what's the top one? What's the one that's like that is going to catch my eye first? And then you can go as far as, okay, what are the first displayed cryptos that people, retail, are going to see when they open up these apps? And that's how you have to think about where you need to be right now. That's the beauty of it. So it's like, what is going to be those coins that retail sees first? And we're going to just be in those coins before they are. It's just kind of like that. So it's not to say that we're trying to dump on retail's heads, but it's just the nature of any investment is that when you have buyers, there are sellers. And when you have sellers, there's buyers. And that's what actually moves the chart. But we want to be in something that we can actually buy and hold multi-cycle and have multiple opportunities to take profit, not just one. So we want to be able to do this. This is the name of the game. Multi-cycle coins, where it's not just a flash in the pan, but you do have a couple of chances to take some profits. We're going to get into what the coins those are and what we think those coins are, at least the ones that I have in my portfolio that I think would be multi-cycle coins, and also memes. We're going to discuss the memes. We're also going to discuss this God candle on Ethereum. Absolutely insane. We're going to discuss the all-time highs that are happening with Bitcoin. This is going to be The next level I think that's going to be respected here is the Fibonacci extension level, which is the $119,000 per Bitcoin for the first 1618 Fibonacci extension. I think it was overdue because if you look at what has happened since January, or actually probably even since May, you could say this is also a Wyckoff accumulation play. This was also a bigger daily time frame Wyckoff accumulation in a bigger range. So if you look at the all-time high right here, or close to the all-time high around this 108,000, this from December and from, let's see right here. Yeah, if you look at this right here, this one of the first all-time highs in January, the Trump pump. This was where we went into a Wyckoff accumulation. You can kind of see it. It's like they had the top run up from here, goes down, does this retest, then we go a little bit lower as another fake out to get a lower entry. Then it goes back up, and then it does that sideways action to then pop up back to the next level to test up to all-time highs. This has happened on a wider scale from January to now, and then if you look at it right here, you can see that this is happening on a shorter trade range, Wyckoff accumulation. You see the drawdown, then you see the test up, then you see the drawdown that's a little bit lower than the last, and then you see the accumulation go back up into the accumulation, like the sell range. Now we're breaking through because we went sideways enough. We're above the 20 EMA ribbon here, which could signify that we could actually be going into a couple of weeks of bullishness leading up to $120,000. And this run can just continue. And Bitcoin could just like blast our faces off right now. And also Ethereum looking really strong that it can just like crack up to about 3K. And what's signifying this is the ETH BTC ratio chart. Look at this chart right now. This chart is insane. The ETH BTC ratio is just like crushing it right now. I mean, this thing just started breaking out on the daily here. And if you look, if you actually look on the overall daily, we've said that we're going to pretty soon, once we break this 0.027 level here, we're going to be going up and hitting this 0.03. And I bet if we do just a Fibonacci extension down into these levels, this is actually pretty dead on to trading back up to test the 0.32. And then we can see that the major level that we want to reclaim is between the 382 and the 618. So it's like right in the middle of there. So we're just doing this long, drawn-out V-shaped recovery for the ETH-BTC ratio, which is now signifying strength for alts, strength into the second largest crypto in history, and for alts. And so this is what is actually going to give us the altcoin season, is this thing freaking waking up. And then institutions now are going to bet on it because it's had a history to be able to develop as one of the strongest alternative chains to Bitcoin because of what it's trying to do. The ecosystem, the nature of the layer twos is a whole nother topic, but just ETH-based layer applications for institutional adoption is huge. And so we have to think long game. They think long game and they need more clarity. So this is, I think, where the money, big money, is going to be flowing. And a lot of people are going to end up being sidelined on ETH because they were convinced to buy, you know, whatever the fancy, you know, new chain is over here and over there. Like, I consider ETH to be in its early phases and early days, is just like Bitcoin was when Bitcoin was $1,000 or when Bitcoin was $2,000. So I think ETH is a 10K minimum asset in the nature of what it can do and how institutions are going to be able to earn yield, especially through the ETF that is going to be coming down the pipe where they can get ETF staking with the ETH ETF. It's going to be crazy. And so then, not to mention about the ETFs, we have all these different ETFs that are going to be filed or that are in the filing process. Where is it? I had the filings for the ETFs. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Hyro, just because we want to keep tabs with the community. Hyro is awesome, by the way. Go follow him on X. He's always posting TA. And so he was mentioned about. So he said ETH tops out 80 weeks after the BTC halving. It's happened the past 2 cycles. This means ETH is topping out in November. That would be interesting if it did top out in November. You know, a lot of people are calling for October and November for Bitcoin to be possibly hitting $200,000 before the end of the year, like before we even hit December, because there is this, I think, this supply shock that's going to be coming. We have seen that on, mentioning about historical patterns and halving patterns. We've had this article and reference this article a lot because in 2015-2017 cycle, Bitcoin peaked at 518 days after the halving. And then in 2019 and 2021 cycle, Bitcoin peaked 546 days after the halving. So then if history repeats and the bull market actually peaks, the bull market peaks occurs 546 days after the halving. And this would mean we would have a, let's see. Because if we had this marked on the CME chart is where we've been tracking this. And that would lead us into, because right now, based on where we had these days, like we're going to pull it now. So let's do that. And then 88 days. So basically, from where we're at now, we have 88 days left from the point to where we would be 500 and 50 days average out to the peak of the all-time highs for the bull run in the halving cycle. So this means that we have 88 days to be hitting this October, November speculation of Bitcoin getting to $200,000. Now, you're thinking, how the heck can that happen? I mean, I feel like it's been so suppressed, and I think it's going to get squeezed. I think this also, to where I bring in this, I like using these two articles together because then you see about the timing and the pattern that's happening here. And then you say, okay, exchanges are probably going to run out of all this Bitcoin because they're not going to be able to keep up with the demand of people taking Bitcoin off the exchanges, because that's also happening at an astronomical rate where Bitcoin is being withdrawn and being put in cold storage. And there's just not enough Bitcoin that's realistically going to be able to go around. And not to mention, the feds are suspected to cut the rates, like all through this year, at least 2 or 3 cuts. That's what Jerome and the committee has said, that they're going to have at least 3 cuts. But now we have even Cynthia Lummis saying and encouraging for Jerome Powell to resign. Trump is also encouraging Powell to resign. So there is massive pressure, like we said, that the Trump administration is going to put on Jerome Powell to either resign or pivot and do a full cut or a bigger cut in July, because I think the market was pricing in that there wasn't going to be a cut at all for July 20th when the next FOMC meeting is coming up. But I think they're putting pressure and putting articles out there that Jerome is going to resign, that I think Powell is going to pivot and they might actually cut on this FOMC meeting coming up. And I think the market now is secretly why Bitcoin is breaking out right now is because that is actually getting priced in right now. People are going, wait a second. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Hyro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this is why we're having the all-time, like, what's breaking out right now, because I think the market is like, they're getting pressured right now to do like an emergency cut, because they're putting out, they're really putting the heat up. They're turning the heat up. They're really turning the heat up on Powell. So with the Truth Social post that Trump keeps putting out about the too late Powell, like all the nicknames, like all of just the and saying that it has drastically damaged the American people with the decisions of partly to do with the Biden administration. So yeah, massive pressure, and I think that's going to be this is now evident in how risk assets are starting to ramp up. It's pretty crazy. So this is all coming into play right now. This is all coming into play, like, really. Now you can see how 200K can violently happen in the next 88 days. So like, that means that in the next 88 days we could have a violent move to the upside of the likes of 80% for Bitcoin in the next 88 days. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy to think that. That means if that's happening, if that is a percent chance, if you have any trades open at any leverage, like, this is a massive opportunity. Because you got to think, this is already, it's not like it hasn't already happened like that, where we've had a 70-80% trudge to the upside. Just last year, from September, we went up 94% in a matter of 88 days, from September to January, 369. So we just have to have some patience. It's just like, look, they ran it up, they did Wyckoff, and now they're going to run it up again. And then we'll crash from 200K down to 150. Michael Saylor even said it on an interview on Fox. He was like, look, Bitcoin's going to violently go up to probably between 150 and 200K. It'll crash back down to 100 or crash back down to 150 or wherever, 120K, and people will freak out. And then it'll probably go up again into the 400, 500,000s going into quarter one or quarter two next year, depending on how much money they're going to print now that we have just passed the big, beautiful bill that has increased the deficit in the spending by $5 trillion. And the feds are going to be cutting rates, so then the interest rates are going to be cheaper. We're going to be able to refinance and pay the debt, but we're also going to be dumping money into risk assets. But Hyro just said the thing that my wife says every single day. Will you take profits this time? That's just it. My fiance, yeah, that's so funny, Hyro. That is hilarious. My fiance always asks me, will you take profits this time? That is a meme. We should make shirts. We should actually make Dojo Crew shirts that say, will you take profits this time? And then on the back of it, it's just like a picture of Pepe. Absolutely not. No, but okay. So now we can pivot. We can say, okay, speaking of profits, we're in a few trades. Two are respectable. One is a FOMO trade of just like, okay, ETH looks like it's about to freaking go to $3,000 any moment now. And we know whenever ETH is moving, the meme coins that are, I think, strong meme coins, and at least strong liquidity tokens, doesn't have to be memes. It can just be any token that's connected with the Ethereum ecosystem that is worth a damn. Then it will probably do well when the top altcoin is doing well. It is as simple as, if Ethereum is doing well, then I think the whole altcoin system as a whole is signaled to go, okay, let's go. And then especially the ones that are connected into the actual Ethereum ecosystem. So that could be MOG, it's Pepe, ticker Bitcoin, anything that has strong liquidity going into, going into the liquidity pool. Like for instance, like go down the list, you got Pepe, SPX 6900, MOG coin, Nero's got decent liquidity, 8 million compared to the market cap at 200 million. We got the Colt Milady coin. We have the AI smart contract auditor, the OXO AI. We got the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. That's strong liquidity compared to the market cap. Because if you think about it, look at the market cap and the liquidity compared to the liquidity and the market cap of Nero. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because this is 8 million. This is 6 million. It's only 2 million off. But look, the market cap is at 200 million, but this is at 66. So kind of ratio, I don't know. What does that mean? It means it's imbalanced? Possibly. Yeah, and then you think about Wojak. I love Wojak. I just bought some Wojak actually with the profits. So some of the profits that I made from these trades, I just took and bought some Wojak, because Wojak is a really strong meme. It's one of the funniest ones. I love the Wojak memes. They're used very frequently, and the coin, every time Ethereum has been in its great, parabolic phases, it's ran up really strong. And this isn't the only one that's done this. Like Brett is also a coin that's been able to do this, which actually pushed like up past $2 billion market cap, which is like a very tough feat to do. And that's without like a Coinbase listing, which is its direct like platform of like, because it's a meme on Base, but they listed like Keyboard Cat instead of Brett, but Brett still is able to hold up strong. So, but that's on the topic of another, we could talk about it, but I want to stay focused here. So, Wojak is basically it's close to its bottom. I mean, we were talking about this, how Wojak, over the past couple months, I mean, since basically March, where it got into this danger zone of where all altcoins basically went, is in their danger zones into the bottom of the chart. Ticker Bitcoin is in that same exact spot right now, and just in the bottom of the chart. They're starting to pump out of the bottom. And if you can, this is where you buy. Like if you're going to buy anything, you buy at the bottom of the chart, and then you hold when it gets to the fun part. You hold until it gets to the fun part, and then you're able to then act, you can then pay yourself. I think in the terms of whenever we start to really crush into ETH season, and we're pushing an all-time high like $6,000, $7,000 ETH. I mean, these ETH meme coins specifically are going to be pulling 500, 600% moves to the upside. And all you have to do is buy spot and hold and wait. So I'm like really, really, really stoked to see the potential of buying, buying low and selling high. The potential is the risk to reward is, if anything, especially when you're buying the bottoms. This is what's great about buying at these points, is because, I mean, what's your risk? I mean, it already went as low as that. I mean, if anything, the risk is like, okay, cool, it'll go back in the entry. I might lose a little bit, but also you're buying spot. Same with Ticker Bitcoin. It's like, okay, cool. Like, okay, I just like, if it pumped and if it went back right into entry, okay, cool. I have my money that I invested in the actual coin. But then the reward and the risk is then, now that from that point, then you can literally gain from this point a 500% move to the upside. And all you have to do is wait for the daddy of all alts to finally wake up, which I think it really has. I think it has, my friends. I think it has. I mean, it's waking up. I mean, look at ETH BTC today. This is insane. I mean, what I want to look at the other BTC ratio charts, and it's like, are they breaking out as much as as ETH? I don't know. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, it's like compared to other ratios, this is like a solid, like just breakout green candle. So it's like it's looking really good. All right, but guys, don't forget, you gotta hit the like button. If there's 14 people in here right now and you guys are excited about the Bitcoin all-time high and you are just feeling it like Mr. Krabs, then you need to destroy the like button. We gotta immediately just jump the likes up like super fast, right to 14 likes. This is an impromptu stream. It's what we like to do sometimes, just surprise you. All right, so let's talk about some things here. Wojak was telling us on the 3rd, you smell that? That's the smell of a BTC all-time high coming. Okay? That was on the 3rd. It sounds like chaos out there in my living room. I think my daughter's trying to do like an experiment or something like that. But yeah, Wojak was feeling bullish, and I feel like there's something telling me it's Wojak season. I don't know what it is, but the chart's looking good. The chart's bullish. Like, I'm really liking the charts. Wojak season. It's ticker Bitcoin season. It's those sweet memes that came out like 2 years ago that all came out around the same time. Like these memes came out like all at the same time, pretty much. In 2023, Wojak, ticker Bitcoin, Pepe, Mog was a little shortly after. And so and Bobo was around the same time too, about 2 years old. These are just like solid memes. I think these are the ones that are going to be the multi-cycle ones, and I don't think memes are dead. I think the nature of the launchpad tokens and the trenches essentially, and the percentage ratio of like you being able to win against like what you're losing, doing pump fund tokens or bonk tokens or whatever those tokens, and where you're buying them and how they end up being successful. It's really just it's all the same money flipping all the same coins, and it's just like you would have to just be keeping up with flipping and moving and transitioning to the ones and the next thing, into the next thing, into the next thing. But the benefit of not doing that and getting into something that can be multi-cycle is that something like Wojak or ticker Bitcoin, you can see there's multiple points where you buy, you accumulate, and then there's points where you sell a little bit. Like it doesn't mean like just because you're selling up here or whenever things are like hot doesn't mean like you hate the coin or you're not going to ever buy the coin again, because in the nature of investing too, if you learn the meme cycles and also you just learn like, hey, you might even be, super autistic and ADHD and all those things just like I am, and you just don't even sell at all in these points, and you're still buying. You just DCA'd the entire chart like this, and then you're going to sell when it's up here because you can believe in something, and you have mega patience, and you're like a super soldier. So if you're able to do that, then there's all different types of strategies, my friends. You could be a super soldier and just have DCA'd this whole chart the entire time, almost like the Bitcoin whales. But as you see here, this is what I think about the multi-cycle memes. And these people are thinking the same things. They're just 12 minutes ago. I mean, people are putting bans, full clips into the ticker right now. But yeah, those are my favorite ones. But I have reasons behind it. Like it's not just because like someone told me or the market whatever is trying to convince me to buy it. These are things I saw years ago and honestly to an extent massively faded them and feel like really, really like just like a schlup, because I've had known about these things for a long time and had those opportunities to figure out like when sentiments real low is when you buy, and then when it's euphoric, that's when you sell. And I kind of was doing the opposite. I was buying when it was green, and then would realize that, now you're going to believe. Now you're going to believe. So it's really interesting how it can be like that, but you just, this is the I think the benefit of going through a few years of seeing how these memes are operating, how the whole cycle even came back, coming out of the Dogecoin collapse and SHIB collapse and just all the collapses of sentiment going out of meme coins, and Pepe making meme coins great again was kind of the signal for everything, for the green light to be like, yeah, market loves memes. That's actually what retail is going to be using as the onboarding mechanism to get on chain, is to buy funny stuff. That's been the whole point. Like, how do you even get retail on chain? It's not going to be from learning about the fundamentals of Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's going to be because they bought a funny ass frog. And that's just the facts. And it's always been like that. All right. How many people are watching? How many people do we got watching across all platforms? Okay. Whoever's watching on X right now, I need roll call. I need a roll call on X. Let's go. We're roll calling on X. I need you in the chat. Say hello. I want to be nice to all the viewers. I want to pay respects to everyone who's watching. Wherever you're watching, whoever you are, wherever you are, we really appreciate it. Everything helps with the algorithm. We're always battling the algorithm. All right, so let's see. Let's analyze the trades here. So we got it. We kind of FOMO in here. We FOMO'd a little bit, I think, into this Pepe trade. It's not a big trade. It's a 10x. Okay, we got headband. We got, well, what's your actual name? .eth Sproto. It's the Sproto with it, because it's just a bunch of cash signs and middle fingers. So I never know how to actually, respond to you. But yeah, this Pepe trade is a total FOMO trade. So I honestly might just close it so I can just like make sure it doesn't. Unless Ethereum, this is the only way. GB. Okay, yeah, GB. All right. Now you're really bringing me back. Oh, now you're bringing me back. The GB. Oh my gosh. How many of you know of the GB? Raise your hand. Old school. Bucket in a Coke bottle. Ping pong bottle so you don't get water in your mouth. Oh Lord. My early 20s. No? Just me? Okay. Yeah, this was such a FOMO. What a FOMO trade. What a FOMO trade to get into. But what I could do, Hyro was asking me, he was like, did you exit out of all your trades? And so this is the answer. No, I just took 50% off the rip when it started to get hot. I was like, okay, it looks a little peaky. So I took half the profits. I just went in and just did a market order, boom, boom, took the lick. But then now I feel like this is always the thing that you don't want to do, is immediately then go into an altcoin after a Bitcoin breakout, because a Bitcoin breakout is happening, but there is going to be some pullback. There's going to be a little bit of a pullback nature, but right now, we had a pullback down to 110, and it looks still strong. I mean, the Bollinger Bands are kind of like pinching right now. They're really getting squeezed, and they got squeezed really heavy right here. I mean, you can see it. It was just like, it was, the Bollinger Bands were super tight. So if that was the wick pullback, I mean, this thing actually can continue and actually start going into like 113, 114. I mean, Asian markets could like wake up at around 9:30, 10 pre-market and just start like full porting this thing. Udi Rodinheimer, one of the Bitcoin, ordinal wizards, taproot wizards, he said, like, basically, I mean, it could happen like overnight, like any moment, like just a Bitcoin slap in the face and everyone just gets sidelined like massively, and it just starts just going. That also can happen too. Like, we all think we know what's going to happen, but how is maybe the Bollinger Band, maybe the Bollinger isn't useful. No, it is useful. It is most of the time useful. It's when moments of the bands are getting pinched. But then you can also use a combination of things. You could say, all right, I got the Bollinger Bands here and also with an EMA ribbon. And I think a combination of these two, gives you a nice, like, looking chart. It's clean. You don't have a bunch of stuff going on. It's just like simple moving averages with Bollinger Bands to show you where price was like. And okay, you want me to counter you why that is useful? Because look at where the Bollinger Band up here is dipped over. Look how it's rolled over right here. Okay, look how it's rolled over right here. Do you see this price? Do you see this? Okay. This is just for Ethereum Bitcoin ratio chart, okay? This is where the fib is sitting. It's literally, and also on a price line where I've marked where we've had the previous resistance, where it looks like it's starting to reverse and trade to. So, and we got Sirius Grayson from Colorado. What's going on? Haven't seen that account before, so welcome back. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. So we used to do live streams every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I don't know, guys, should we go back to doing 2 live streams a day, because we were doing 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I feel like we had a bunch of, we had all the different time zones. We hit, some people were able to join the stream at night instead of, at 11. So let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd like me to stream 2 times a day. Do that morning after market breakdown, and then also see what's going to happen pre-Asian markets, where we could start to see some momentum. But yeah, so it's like, the Bollinger Bands can give you some indications on the daily where price could start to test, and it's usually where the bands are kind of starting to roll over. You can even use this on stocks. Like, look, Tesla on the daily. You can see the Bollinger Band is up at 385, which matches up with previous resistance right above on 315. And so then you could say, like, okay, look at the Bollinger Band price right here is at 346. I would be eyeing for Tesla, especially that it went and did this and look, and then also on Tesla, this is Wyckoff. This is also Wyckoff too. They ran Tesla up from the range here, then it ran down, did this kind of W pattern. It was a little bit choppy. It was kind of choppy. Wasn't perfect, but you can see the rundown right here, and then it did it 3 times instead of like the 2. There goes 1, 2, and then it ran back up, and then you can see how went sideways a little bit in the Wyckoff like last portion of the accumulation, and now this is where I feel like it's going to test back up into all-time highs, going up to 489. And then that also lines up with, where we see where we see that price band coming up. So, and then the RSI, once we start to see a reversal of strength crossing that moving average, and you can see where the last time we were sitting at this RSI, we were right here, and we were also at the bottom of 216, and it ran up here all the way all the way up like 126% to 485, like breaking like, was it all-time highs? Yeah, breaking all-time highs. So yeah, I've just gotten used to using the Bollinger Bands as a nice visual representation of kind of where price could be headed, and also I like the ribbon. The ribbon's nice. This is a really nice ribbon. Ribbon 1080 close. And then I like to make the green 20 EMA. I like to make that really thick. So then whenever price starts to move above that, then I kind of know like, okay, we're in some bullish territory. And then match that with the RSI. And also the MACD is good too, do the MACD. But yeah, like lot like these are stocks that we can kind of start paying attention to. Coin is really, it's really trading well. MicroStrategy still trading really well. I think MicroStrategy at a 642 is a good valuation coming up here in the next couple months. The S&P's already broken all-time highs. That I think is shooting for a target of 7,200. Nvidia looks like it is. I don't know. I really don't have any much opinion on Nvidia. I think more of the focus is probably going to be in some of these, Bitcoin treasury stocks and stuff like that. But then my personal opinion, I think we just focus on our bags that we have been building, the things that we've already accumulated and know that we don't know, but have a good probability that will perform well. But if you're looking at some stocks that maybe haven't really made a massive jump yet, as I'd say GME, let's see, Robinhood on the weekly, already broke out of this kind of cup and handle pattern that was happening, and that this thing is just kind of already it's going. But they just released a bunch of stuff, they're really bullish crypto. But then you look at the Dixie, and the Dixie is about to hit some of its lowest points since 2021. So since 2021, almost like 3-4 years ago, we're starting to hit those lows on the Dixie. I think we could even get lower, especially when fiat starts to just offload into risk assets, and that's what I think is happening right now, going towards the end of the year. Because people are going to start really wanting to get some returns closing quarter 4 And this is where, I think we can really see some major moves coming in for the rest of the year, but it's not going to come without the volatility. So just, if you're trying to trade this, just know it's not going to be just a straight God candle up unless we get massively rewarded by the crypto gods to give us, massive, green God candles, because that could also happen as well. But right now, we're looking at a range between $2,500 of Ethereum and $2,800. This is the range that the exchanges have been knocking us around. They've been really knocking us around here. You can see, they could possibly just keep doing this, range it. Bitcoin's been ranging as well in between those liquidation levels. You can see high liquidation levels, high energy right here. Let's do this. Like you can see that the liquidations are still had not been hit right here at 107, but it did clean house right here. And now we're sitting at possibly even liquidating more shorts up at the all-time highs again here. I don't know. Tell that to John Bollinger. I've found it pretty useful. I just like it helps my eyes with the chart. So I think whatever helps you analyze price action the best, then use that. I think that's how you have to look at the charts, is like what will work, what works for you. Like what is going to be the best thing that gives you enough info of price action. And a lot of that has to do with like, okay, zoom out, look at the weekly, look at the strength, compare it to ETH especially with altcoins, and compare it to Bitcoin, and then there you go. You can see where high action is and where low action. And then, okay, Hyro is like, really, he's like, Ondo. What do you think about Ondo? Because I've been so very like laser focused on my coins. Like I haven't very spread out much, but I know Ondo is part of the Trump wallet holdings that I know of. Oh, is this the spot Bybit? Okay. I know Ondo has to do a lot with tokenized stocks, so that's also a bullish narrative. Yeah, if we go into the World Liberty Financial Wallet, I believe, yes, they hold some Ondo and Mantle. This looks good. You can already see a through line of resistance right here of $1.09, and it lines up with the Bollinger Bands. It's right here. So a price target of $1. I think $1.07 here in the short term. Once I bet they do. They don't have it in this wallet, but I bet they have some. I bet they have Pepe. They have to be holding Pepe. That would be ridiculous, because if you think about it, look, I mean, I would bet if you go into, just go to the meme section and then go to volume, 24-hour volume. Look, these three coins right here are the top 3 traded volume coins in terms of memes in the entire space. And then right up under it is Dog with Hat, and then we got Trump, Fart Coin, and then, I mean, I don't know how Peanut is still doing. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, so here's the top tier list here. I don't know. I don't consider Peanut to really have like any lasting standing power. I don't know. Pingu, Fart Coin, Trump, Dog with Hat, Bonk, Pepe, Doge. Oh, and then right under Pingu is Shib. Don't forget about Shib. and then we got Floki. But I'm mentioning things that I like, that I pay attention to. I don't Banana for Scale. I know nothing, because I'm very much focused. I think it's very smart to laser focus, like Michael Saylor level Bitcoin laser focus on your plan. And if you just look at my post here about my MetaMask wallet is healing, this is where my focus is. OG original memes that came out when everyone thought that memes were dead, and this is what hit the scene, and these were first to market, and I think they're multi-cycle. And I'm willing to die on this hill. So I'm keeping my focus pretty laser focused. And I think that's okay. Instead of spreading my butter over too much bread, going all over the place, having 17 different, coins or meme coins that I'm trying to follow, I got it pretty dialed in. And so you could do the same, and you might be able to sleep better at night. And also, I mean, wouldn't it be hilarious to tell your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama-Sonic Teninu coin mooned, Pepe the Frog and Wojak pumped? It would be. Hit the like button if you agree. All right, well, I think it's still, this was also to go live was a test to see how many people are actually interested in Bitcoin hitting an all-time high today. And in terms of the likes and the views, not a lot of people care. And I love it. I love it. Keep not caring and be running to these live streams into crypto in the next couple years. You're going to be like, dang it. But it's okay. This is why we're still going to continue to come here. We know that it's just the same people that are in crypto. We might get a couple new people, but we're here to catch them like a net. But we did have 15 people on here, but I probably ranted them away. I don't know. We'll see. But sometimes I feel like when I get too into the fundamentals, people are like snooze fest. But I think getting into the fundamentals and the long-term outlook is very important. It's very important. But it's, even though I know I have people watching on different platforms, like I have 20 something people. I think, okay, there's 32 people watching on X. However many of those people are actually real, that's a question that, I mean, who knows? It's hard to tell if they're bots or if I don't know. I mean, I know GB is real. he responded in the chat. But for some reason, I still go off of YouTube's metrics as the indicator of when interest is back. Because we know, like, Twitter interest and CT, like, we're interested in crypto. So, like, mostly, like, the people that are going, like, that are viewing are already, like, they're either in NFTs or they're in meme coins, or they're just, they're in crypto. But when it comes to new people coming into the space, the first place that they go to is YouTube. Because that's where I went. That's where I went, and I feel like that is the same, right? Like, if you were from the last cycle, or you came in, or you're going to be a new person coming in, what do you think you would use? Would you go on YouTube and type in, like, how to trade or how to invest in Bitcoin? You'd use all the keywords, and then you're going to find some content to watch. or a live stream or whatever it may be. At least that's my thought process of what's going to happen when actual retail people that are interested in diving into the space are going to start watching crypto content. Because I was that person in 2021 in January. We came in and did right in the jump of the year of 2021. We witnessed BNB and DeFi summer and like all these different swaps like DEXs, farming tokens and stuff like that, like all those different, all that stuff. And we've learned about it because we're watching Ivan on Tech and Cryptos R Us or Carl's channel. We watched a lot of Journey Crypto. It's actually what inspired us to make our own channel. And to then think to ourselves, okay, we're going to be one of those channels that people are going to click on when they're interested. And the only way that that'll happen is if you grind through the trenches, grind through the boring times, grind through when no one gives a crap, because eventually they will. Because FOMO and euphoria is a real thing, my friends. And you are, I think these people are going to get slapped with a mega Mickey hand of euphoria. And we're like, oh, you better learn about crypto real quick. You're going to get left behind. I don't know why I just did a Mickey voice, but I think that at least deserves a few likes if you haven't already hit the like button. All right, let's check on the trades. Let's check on the trades. Okay. Trade's not looking too bad. I have this feeling like they're like it could just continue to like we're all gonna go to bed and then it's just gonna start ripping. It's gonna start ripping again. I would like that. Then that means it'd be a no sleep night. Just we're just staring at the charts, seeing what the heck is gonna happen. Yes. A lot of the times I end up going up a little bit more degen leverage because of the nature of the margin. If it's low margin and you see your entries pretty decent, you can maximize on the gains. And then whenever I have higher margin, I usually go lower leverage. Because obviously, you're anteing up with a lot more margin. And you're going 50x. I mean, your chance of losing a lot of that liquidity is really high. And so I've kind of almost noticed that if you trade with small margin on a 50x and then take profits whenever the trade breaks out, you're going to see the trade most likely more so than not dip back to. For example, our entry was right here. We scaled into it a few times. Wonder if we can look. I think this is about where. Yeah, it's kind of right here. Couple different scalings right there, and then that was I felt good about that. I was like, okay, I feel good about that. In that entry, 2,500, that we're eventually going to kind of pop here. That everything was looking good. And then, so now I established a resistance box. I was like, okay, here's the resistance box. Here's where we've seen previous resistance. I drew, I just marked it right here. We've hit it here. So this is going to be an obvious spot where if we can just continue to just like be going out of the purple box of resistance, which would be all right here, then we can actually we can continue. But it's a good chance we'll, probably could trade back down into 27.3, could even trade back down into 26.56 right here. And then if that is the case, you can with whatever profits you had, so I decided to take my profits and then go into this Pepe trade. But if you wanted to do it this way, you could say, all right, I'll use some of the profits that I made, take and wait, set limit orders right here. And if you see strength in the bounce, then you could be scaling back into the trade. You could even go as far as, then this is, but said that's it all's all relative, because you have to think about how you want to trade. You could close the whole trade and then close the whole trade right at resistance, and then wait and see if strength continues and find where there's a bounce point. Like for instance, like right here, you could have done it right here. You could have said, okay, I'm going to take all the profit right here, which I didn't. I just took 50%. And then right there, you could scale back into the trade, and then it ran up from that consolidate, from the drawdown, it ran back up another 2%. And then you can continue if you want to. If you want to set a stop loss, you set a stop loss. There's no stop loss set on here currently right now. You can kind of start to trail it up. You can continue trailing it up, and then you're scaling and trailing. You're scaling and trailing the trade to always just be in profit no matter what. And then if the whole trade ends up getting closed out, then you have liquidity to put in another entry if you'd like. And you also have more liquidity to put in the trade, because then you're taking profit and you're also using the margin and whatever the profit was to go back in to then continue to compound it. That's the whole point. But the moment it's not compounding, then that's a different story. Then you have to analyze it like this particular trade, like the Pepe trade, which was basically buying the exact top, which I'm just going to go ahead and just call this one. No big deal. Still liquidity, but now there's 78 liquidity that I could potentially scale into both of these trades if they want to go and consolidate back down. So to answer your question, Hyro, if this breaks out more, would you scale up the trade? I would, so that's how I would do it. Uncle Tony is saying, you think BTC will hold 111 overnight? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been holding these prices pretty well. I mean, it's been holding strong. And I think the exchanges were ranging and holding it back for to so long that I don't think they can, I don't think they can continue to suppress the price as much as they've been doing. I mean, I think it's obvious at this point that they have been suppressing the price. And it's due for a freaking run. It's due for a pop, So that's why it eventually just popped. I mean, you see what it's been doing here. And I feel like it's about to just break to 115 tonight. It's about to break to 115 tonight. I don't know. I can just I feel it. But we made some good moves. We managed to stay liquid and calm for the past couple days with the market. No rash moves or anything like that. Building up the liquidity. Built up the DCA bag. So all is good, all is well. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for getting the likes up to 10 likes. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I think that this is okay, we've been streaming for about an hour. Oh, no, but the stop loss, I'm not going to do it at break even. What I would do, all right, actually this is great to show you guys my strategy. So so it's a trail stop loss, and so it's a a scale and trail. So I would actually, that's actually a really good name for this strategy, a scale and trail. So if you are starting with small margin on a trade, particularly something like what I just did, where I had about $60 of margin in BTC on the trade, and then I had 60 or 70 in the ETH margin, or maybe actually it was a little less. I mean, it was probably like 50. So total, not a lot of margin. But where my entry was, I felt confident to ante up the leverage a little bit. So then we did that, and then we took 50% of the trade. But we should have already had done this, but this is usually the rule. Okay, so here's the rule. So once you're in profit, so now say you're in 2 trades, they're both in profit, and this is what you can do. You can do this. You go to this, or you have to go to your TPSL. It's right there. All exchanges that have the perps or futures trading are going to have this option where you can add a take profit or a stop loss. So we're going to do this on Bitcoin. You can choose to do a stop loss on an exact price based on the price in USDT. You can hit last price, fair, index, just do last price. But then also you can do it by the percentage, which you can put 0, which is break even. And then once you do that, you can do something like this. You'll actually see it pop up on here. So that's the stop loss. Now that it's in break even, and say it's just breaking up. It's breaking out. It's breaking out. It's breaking out. Awesome. Cool. Well, do you want to make money still? Okay, so don't have it at break even. As it continues to scale up, you can scale and also trail the stop loss up as well. So then no matter what, I took 50%. So you can do 2 different things. As it's breaking out, you can take profits, scale into the trade at certain points of support, and then trail your stop loss in profit. So this is locking in gains on no matter what happens in the chart and giving you still access to liquidity, whereas before you would have been hitting at break even. So this is this strategy can work really well. And it's not going to be always 100% guaranteed. It's just like, I think that if you're able to do this consistently enough and not break your rules and do this enough, I mean, it can compound. I've done it in accounts where I've been robotic, and I've seen where it's been very successful. And I'll tell you where I've gone wrong and where I've made the mistake is that I didn't pay myself enough, and I ended up going back into the market with a lot of my gains and giving it back to the market, which is a story that a lot of traders who are very successful traders have also done as well. They've ran up multiple accounts to thousands of dollars, and then feeling the dopamine and the emotions and all the things that come with that, it's a very high chance that a lot of those gains can be given right back. It's a really hard lesson to learn, but it's a necessary lesson, so then that the next time you run up an account for thousands of dollars, you'll have a completely different mindset and a strategy to keep the gains. So with that, I hope that helps, because that's like the best alpha I can give you guys in terms of just basic, simple trading strategy. I mean, you don't have to pay a signal group or a trading course. I mean, this is just like the best advice I can give you. Doesn't matter what direction the market's going. This is how you just need to treat your trades, and this is how you can manage your trades if you're wanting to keep them open or get the most benefit out of keeping your trade healthy. Put a 1 in the chat if that helped you. All right. I think we're gonna sign off. It's 8:30. Now we're gonna chill, and also keep an eye out on these markets here, because it's looking good. I think we might actually be able to hold it. I think we might be able to hold this bullish momentum here. Said Ethereum is going to be the most hated rally in crypto history, and I really want us to be on the side of it, on the right side of it. I don't want us to be in the screaming, kicking side. I want us to be the ones benefiting and reaping the rewards of an ETH run. So for an example, I keep encouraging my friend who's he's into crypto. He really loves crypto, but he hasn't been DCAing into just fundamental stuff. He's been gambling on Pump Fund. He got sucked into Pump Fund and started to get into the trench, and I admitted he was good at catching and picking out certain ones that maybe performed well short term, and then eventually they all end up being rugs. They don't go past a certain point, and I end up telling him, I'm like, dude, Pepe's right there. But I don't even say that. I just say, start DCAing. Just start a journey of believing in something. I think once we all kind of really truly step out the trench and rally behind, really actually rally behind where liquidity is really going, because that's not where real liquidity is going. At least I don't think so. To the trenches, that's just everyone's money is being rinsed and repeated on everyone's head. So where's new fresh money coming in? It's probably going to be Ethereum. And then it's just going to trickle down. But obviously, that's just my opinion. But all right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for coming into the impromptu stream. Let's be excited about Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. Let's tell a friend. I don't know what we have to do to get people excited about investing again, or the prospect of making life-changing gains. I don't know what's going to motivate people to get back into crypto. I don't know. But we're going to continue to come here. We're going to continue to show up and live stream, because I think that is our duty. It's our mission. It's what we're here to do. We're gonna continue to show up, and we hope you show up with us. But this is me saluting out to the chat, the Dojo crew, to all the YouTube viewers, the Twitch viewers, the Rumble viewers, the X viewers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and make sure you guys check out. We didn't do any shilling of the partners of the channel. Real quick, if you guys want to check out all of the bullish partners of the channel. You just go into the description of the video. Make sure if you when you're there, you hit that like button right there, that nice little awesome like button. And you can see that we are partners with OURBIT, PHEMEX, and Apex, DEX, Decentralized. And then also, if you want to get a Crypto.com account and earn some rewards and earn some Crow and also some Bitcoin, and also just kind of gamify and also use all kinds of different cool services, I have a link for that for Crypto.com. Trying to build up that ecosystem as well. We really like Crypto.com. And Crow recently has been crushing it and very involved with a lot of stuff like sports betting and tokenized stocks. You can have stocks on there, all kinds of stuff. Debit card I like using. So yeah, won't you consider using my referral code for that? And yep, check out the website as well. Go to danocrypto.com. You got the bubbles here. And also if you want to get some Dano Crypto merch, you can see it here. We got Bitcoin sweaters. We got the Buff Doge. And we got some other, nice things. And we'll be updating that store here soon with some new merch. We're going to actually make some custom ticker Bitcoin merch that you can buy exclusively on our merch store. It'll be like a bootleg ticker Bitcoin store. So let's go. All right. Peace out, my friends.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.